So what is rule number 6? There is a book that I read some time back. The book is called The Art of Possibility. It is written by Benjamin and Rosamund Zanders. In the book they talk about this rule number 6. The rule is very simple. Don't take yourself so goddamn seriously. Have fun, loosen up. It's okay if things don't work. It's okay whatever is happening in your life. So don't take your life and yourself so seriously. Loosen up, have fun. The more fun you have, the more creative you will get. Because the more fun you have, you're enjoying the day, you're enjoying your life, you tend to be in the alpha state, and hence your ability to come up with creative ideas is extremely high, right? So I know that a lot of technical guys here, so I couldn't resist but having a technical formula here that I wanted to bring up as the 7th point that I have. I'm sure you've all heard of the formula called E is equal to MC square, right? So I have my own perception or my own definition of this formula. I call it enthusiasm is equal to motivation into creativity into curiosity. So nothing in life worth doing has been done without enthusiasm, right? And in order for you to be enthusiastic to do what it is that you want to do, you need number 1 motivation to do it. You need curiosity and creativity. So unless you are curious, you will not be creative. So you need to have both. You need to be curious about what is happening around you. You need to be curious about what is happening inside of you. You need to be curious about all that is happening around the world, so that you are able to absorb. So this also leads into that earlier point that I had, to have multiple sources of information in your head so that you can combine those ideas and come up with creative ones. So E is equal to MC square, which is enthusiasm is equal to motivation into creativity into curiosity. So I'd like to close with a poem that I came across. This is a poem written by Anais Nin. It reads something like this. And then the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than it was to blossom. So with that, I'd like to close. Any questions? I hope that I've given you some thoughts that you can go back with and use in your own work. So I don't know whether I've answered your question, but if not, then we can probably catch up. So any questions on creativity?
Well, maybe post the next
Sure.
we have a lunch break, so after questions we can take it.
Sure.
I'm really sorry because we're
No problem. I understand that. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Bring scaling Agile, a DevOps approach through squads.
Okay, so we have one person on every table left standing. Thank you guys, you are going to be my volunteers today, okay? So I just want to play a quick exercise, and this is not difficult, we all do this. I just want to see if I can just imbibe some ideas through this exercise, right? So I'd like you to be a taster of food, okay? What can you think of while making food? You can? You can pay for the food, you're the customer, excellent, okay. Now let's assume for a moment that you have a space constraint among all of yourselves. You cannot move to each other, right? How quickly can you serve your customer a meal? Get started, guys. Yeah, he's very hungry. Get started. You cannot move, you have to be where you are. You have to come up with a meal to satisfy your customer. When do you want to have your meal? Now. Where's the meal? Have you tasted the meal? Okay. What are the dietary requirements? Have you tasted the meal yet? Okay.
So who is cooking it?
You're making the palak dal, okay. So now we have some palak and dal, okay.
Palak dal is done. Who's going to taste it? It's good. it satisfies the dietary needs and all that.
Okay, all right. Now please take your seats. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being such sports. I'm sorry about the, coming up on y'all on the surprise. So let me just go to this table and I say, guys, whatever the other guys did, can you take care of it within this one table? You are the taster, you are the chef, you are the sous chef, you are, the dietitian. Can you come up with a meal? I'm hungry, I want something now. What are you giving me?
What do you like to have?
I am hungry, I can eat anything, no preferences for now.
Whatever we can have fast and all that.
What is that? Give me an example, quickly. Vada pav, okay. Excellent. Vada pav is excellent. Can I have something sweet along with it? After the jalebi, okay, all right. So I have now a vada pav and jalebi. I'm a little diabetic. Can you do something about that jalebi? I want sweet still. I will pay you, definitely I'll pay you, yes. Can you do something about that jalebi and not have sugar in it, please? Okay, artificial, excellent, okay. And also, what day is it today? Friday. On Fridays, I like to have a touch of mint sauce in my vada pav. So can you make sure you can do that? Yeah? All right. How quick was this? How quick was that? This was much faster. Their constraints were more? Really? Your customer was very nice with you all. He didn't give you all too many constraints. So what I'm trying to imbibe is a few concepts, and we'll come to those concepts. So when we talk about scaling Agile, that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you all about, right? We have such massive teams. We have so many different expertises, and we have so many different locations, okay? Just within India, if I can think of it, you probably have delivery centers around Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, Gurgaon, Chennai, name a few other places, and that would be the mix. The customer is still waiting for his food, right? You still are talking, you're still trying to understand what he wants. His hunger is not satisfied. So what is a quick and dirty way to get there, give him something to eat, while you're trying to perfect your own art? Okay, I think that's the essence of scaling Agile, right? You have large distributed teams. What is the best you can get done in the shortest amount of time in order to satisfy your customer? If you can get to the crux of that, I think you've cracked it, right, in your organization. Then I'm simplifying it much more than it actually is, and I've exaggerated the problem using food much more than it actually is. But what are we trying to do, right? So this is something that we tried at IBM for some of our cloud-based solutions that have gone out for our platform as a service that we're creating currently. And we've gone into this model that Spotify created and made popular. It's called the Spotify model. And it basically is a scaling Agile principle where you have few different concepts and few enabling factors for teams to help them deliver fast and help them give some value to the customer at regular intervals. So it started off with what is called a tribe. So a tribe was that table, right? It was started off with what's called a squad, and the squad is what was that table. So a squad is self-sufficient. It has everything that it needs within itself. It is co-located, enables easier communication. You don't have the best skills at that point in time, that's okay, you'll figure it out, right? But if you understand what your customer wants, when you are co-located, communication becomes easier, customer gets what he wants faster. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. The next part of that squad is, okay, they didn't have probably a dietitian today, okay? But there are squads like that that are serving different customers with similar needs, okay? Can the dietitians actually form what is called a cross squads called a guild of like-minded people, right? So you have like-minded people who want to who are interested in understanding about nutrition, who are interested in understanding about how much protein intake should be there, how much carbohydrate intake should be there, and so on. You get together and then you say, okay, based on what we've read, these are probably the best practices to follow while putting together a meal. Okay, and then you have chapters. like tasters who excel at their skill, and it's a very specific skill. It's like wine tasting or fragrance smelling. Very niche capabilities where you form a chapter of such individuals around your different squads, where they share their know-how together, and then they bring it back to the squads that they are part of and help the squads on that end. Any questions so far? Yep. Okay. So a guild is primarily put together in order to come up with interested folks who might not necessarily have the skills yet. Whereas a chapter, it has specific skills that need to be, used in each of the squads, but in order for them to also exchange their skills, they have to get together across different squads. Guild could be voluntary, because dietitian at the end of the diet science at the end of the day is a science. I can go learn it. I don't need a specific, attribute within me in my genes that helps me do that, right? Whereas, let's say, and most of our software tasks are that way. You figure out that you can pick them up. But if you look at certain interests, you could say this is more about where the interest was and where that got utilized. That would be your chapter. But then where the interest is and you want to help some others grow and also make sure that that's taken care of, that would be a guild.
In fact, we do the same model. We have a different flavor to what you say as a guild and a chapter.
Okay.
For example, if we take up a squad as a cross-functional team,
Okay.
T-shaped team which can do multiple tasks.
Right.
And say for example, if you take up a tribe, they cater to a line of business. Say they cater to the insurance line of business. So what a chapter would be, and for the insurance line of business, there could be multiple technologies. There could be some .NET technology, there could be some web technology, there could be some data acquisition technology. Say for all the data acquisition technologies, what happens is that